Yo, King of the Pit TV, Des Rocksteady signing in. Idolatry by Devastation is on the cards tonight. Alright, 8 tunes. Never come across Devastation before. I feel like I've come across the artwork once or twice, but I like a lot of other artworks of the times. Alright, seems there was a reoccurring theme with the head in the square. You know, we've got some religious iconography around there, which we can talk about during the listen through. I am a fan of symbolism. Very cool indeed. This was recommended by Jim on the Patreon. Jim, I appreciate your patience. I know I was a moment on this one, but it's one love to you, my brother. We're gonna fast forward, full speed ahead with everything you've recommended. This will be a nice steer into the realms of metal, because I've done a little bit of singer-songwriter, a little bit of rock adjacent music as of recent, so this is going to be good. I've just gone down a rabbit hole. I was watching a video, or at least in the background of the video, of the narcissist's psychosexuality. I don't know where the guy came from. He sounded like a German what's the Freudian school? Psychoanalyzm. So what would you call him? A psychoanalyst? And he was speaking some fascinating information, and I came off of that through a whole realm of like deep dive, dark psychology, dark triad stuff, and I thought it was very fascinating. It might go hand in hand with what we're listening to tonight for some dark energy that stems off of this record. So we've got some relatively long tunes. We tend to flirt around 5 minutes to 6 minutes. It's not too long to say it's an 8-track record. Suits me. Starting off with Deliver the Heckin' Suffering. This is track number 1. Peace, people. Let's go. Boom. Hope everyone's doing alright tonight. 1991. Writer, composer credit, Rodney Dunsmore. Self-published, Devastation / Earhurts. Provided to YouTube by Virgin Music Group upon the 31st of January 2018. They've got another record, Signs of Life. Couple of cool acts in the related videos I'm not familiar with. Cabal, Schizophrenia, Recollections of the Insane. Sworn to the Dark. Shout out to Jim for this one. The boom on that tom drum. Yo, we got a production value on this. This is sick. When are these vocals going to come in? I have no idea what these vocals are going to sound like. It's 91. So we could have an air of death metal in here. Judging by the production, judging by the sound of the instrumental, the intensity of it, I don't think we're going to have our bog standard thrash metal vocal. I think there's going to be an air of harshness to it. Let's find out. Come on. Dude, this band is tight as hell. Bruh, this band has to come from New York. That's a New York groove right there. Where's the... I just got to find out where this band's from. I'll be with you in 1 second. Turns out this band is from Texas. Can you believe it? How many good metal bands have come from Texas? I know some people are going to shoot me down for that one, but not many come to mind. Is it easy for a band to succeed in Texas? Like a metal band? Let's go. I bet it's tough on the hands of the guitarists playing this fast for so long. Sickness. What a blazing start to the record. What a fantastic surprise this was. Wowee, this is going to be really good. This is going to be really good because they've shown that they can play in the mid-tempo as well. And because they can play in the mid-tempo, Here it comes. You know what we like to do over here. I can clock it on from a mile away. There's gonna be the riff in this album. There's gonna be the riff. There's gonna be the riff. And I'm looking forward to when that riff hits. We've got Free Will coming up next, track number 2. See you there. Yes, now, bless now. Idolatry by Devastation is the record we're listening to. Track number 2 is entitled Free Will. Let's jump in, shall we? On the top. Right, check. Did you know the logo or the symbol that most would associate with an inverted pentagram, alright, symbolic of Satanism, actually is more of a Wiccan and pagan symbol, given that it's within a circle. That circle makes it a pentacle, which can be seen on the tarot. I might have an example here. Oh, thank you, people. Here we've got the 6 of Pentacles, right? Albeit the pentacles are upright as opposed to inverted, it still is a Wiccan, if not a pagan symbol, as opposed to a strictly satanic one. Quite fascinating as well is it's entitled Idolatry, but there is symbolism that from particular religions that don't necessarily enjoy the use of idolatry themselves. You know, monotheistic religions that actually say you should not idolize or make idols of that. So there is, you know, a degree of naivety here. Taoism, if not Buddhism, also taking a stray. We've got the lotus flower up at the top, and if you wonder why the lotus flower is utilised as a flower of symbol for particular religions, it's because the lotus comes from the murkiest depths of the water, right? The deep, dark depths, and what it does is it finds its way to light and blooms upon the top of the water, showcasing, you know, a path of most resistance, should I say, and coming from nothing into something, which I find quite fascinating. We've got the fish on the left-hand side, which was used by Christians when they were, you know, they couldn't really showcase. When they were being persecuted, they would use the fish as a means of showcasing that they were Christian without showing that they were Christian. We've got the left-hand side Star of David, which I find ever so fascinating symbol because its roots go so deep into Solomon's temple, into as the Seal of Solomon, and even beyond there. And what it actually stands for is vast and vague at the same time. So that's the star we're seeing there, the 6-pointed star. So we've got 2 interlocking triangles with that one facing upwards, one facing down, which could be symbolic of duality. Okay, 2 becoming 1, the masculine and the feminine, right? The arrow pointing up can represent the masculine, the active, seeing as we have a penis upon the top, 2 testicles below the penis, and then the downward facing arrow is the feminine, the passive, which is the uterus and the vulva. Yeah, light and dark, up and down, and then it also represents two elements, those elements being fire that raises upwards and water which runs down. Yeah, and then you could get into these symbols of the other two elements that are crossed over, which is air and earth. Yeah, we're not here to... Well, you know, this is a reaction video, isn't it? So I thought, considering the record is entitled Idolatry and we've got symbols all over the shop, makes sense to talk about it. I believe we've got the 10 Commandments for two... what would you call it? Tomes? That Moses brought down from... I forgot the name of the mountain now. This is a real mountain that's still, you know, named the same thing here. Mount Sinai, next to the fish. We've got the Ankh on the right-hand side, which is the symbol of life, but is also both phallic and yonic, and that means it represents both the male genitalia as well as the woman's, the top circular being the womb, whereas the pointed downward section being the phallus. And Christianity may have taken the cross and rid of the feminine element in that symbol and just replaced it with a pure phallic symbol. We've got the menorah beneath that. I'm a little uncertain as to what that sword represents underneath. Somebody want to tell me that? I know Islam uses the sword from time to time, and it would make sense given that we have no Islamic, or no strictly Islamic imagery on here. Fill me in. Fill me in. Pull you a card. Funny, we just pulled the Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles. From the cold into the warmth. In the yin and the yang, that is both, as you'll find with most of this symbolism, it all relates back to feminine and masculine. That essentially is the root, you know. As far as duality is concerned, if there's two separate entities, it tends to be portrayed as masculine and feminine. We've got yin and yang there, yang being the masculine principle and yin being the feminine, alright? They're two different colours. Yang is the white and yin is the black. So the masculine represents light, whereas the feminine represents darkness. All right. So from an attraction standpoint, if you represent the light, or you show her the light and you are the light, you will be able to lead in the relationship. But within the yin and the yang, we've got two circles, all right, of the opposing color, showcasing a seed, or the feminine within the masculine and the masculine within the feminine, because as we should know, as a man we do have a feminine side, and as a woman they do have a masculine side, okay? And being understanding of that and being able to manifest that and be aware of that and integrate that into who we are and understanding and not repress it out of fear of it, we become more wholesome and unlock, you know, such a great perspective on life and our own capabilities and possibilities. This is feminine. This work is feminine. Being creative is feminine. All right? That's the way it is. Light is leadership. Let's go. Disgusting. Great bass frequency on this record, very heavy, just down to the fact that the bass is really pumped. When that double kick comes in, you feel it. That was Free Will. It wasn't as good a tune as Deliver the Suffering, but we're still, you know, upholding this great high ceiling of quality metal music. We've got Forsaken Hatred coming up next. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, signing in with Idolatry by Devastation. Let's get these idiots off of our screen. Yes. Although, what was that? Was it dry shampoo? Got to be. I don't think it was. I'm a fan of dry shampoo. I'm not gonna lie to you people. Not gonna lie to you. Come on, we're punk rock over here. Who needs to wash your hair? Just throw some dry shampoo on. Track 3 of 8 is Forsaken Hatred. We're listening to Devastation. This time, listen through goes out to Jim. Jim, thank you for this one. This has been pretty good so far. Nice, enjoyable listen. Let's go. Track 3. There's a video on my related and it's called Metal Elitism Explained. Let me tell you one thing, right? You might have a few odd autistic meme lords, but generally speaking, there is no metal elitism. If you are a fan of music and you speak to your general metalhead about music, like face to face, not across the internet, like if you went to an event and you like had a genuine conversation and showed interest in that other person, people don't tend to be idiots unless they are like socially awkward autistic people and then like sort of brush you off. But these people don't generally make many friends just due to the nature of them not being able to read cues. And let's be fair, metal music attracts a few awkward people, and that's just the way it is. Other than that, you know, it's kind of worse in punk and hardcore, I would say, because you go into the realm of punk adjacent music because you're outcasted as hell, and then you enter a community where there's cool kids and in group. It's all tribal. Like, there's no difference between the punk rock scene and the dance scene, the electronic dance music scene. There's no difference between the metal scene and the house scene. It's a fan base of music who have developed their own hierarchy based upon status and this, that, and the third, and you just never escape it. And those at the top can be gatekeepers. Well, I say those at the top, maybe not them at the top, but groups upon the top. You know what I mean? The cool kids might have some degree of like, I know more than you, and what your taste is nonsense. And it's like, oh, shut up. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And I say hated as like past tense because, bro, I'm a grown man now. Like, I honestly do. I see it for what it is. I see it for what it is, and it's just like, it sucks to be you. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. But when I was younger, it was like, well, I say when I was younger, like, I can't go to an event and have a dance and enjoy music no more because you know people in the bands, and it's like, you're a dick, you're a douche. One person out of five people in that band is a knobhead, and so because that one person out of five is a knobhead and you think they're a knobhead, you just can't even be seen supporting the band. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking horrible, mate. Being ignorant to all of that is a blessing in disguise, man. Let's go. Do you know what I'd do if I did the album artwork? I'd get rid of the title Idolatry, and I'd get rid of Devastation, and I'd just move the skull into the middle. Because the it's indecipherable. Like, from a distance, it just doesn't pop. It's not bold enough. You know, you want your title and the band to be clear as day, don't you? So if it's not, you might as well just have it as the artwork, because that's sick by itself, you know. When a band just does the artwork and doesn't put the title or the brand on there, it's like just as eye-catching, because you're like, what is this? Who is this? And then you have to work out who it is. You know what I mean? And then you become accustomed. It's good marketing. As a side note, we could also move the skull to the middle, and instead of Idolatry, just put Devastation there at the bottom. You know what I mean? Still retain the album title, but yeah, that's what I think. Because Idolatry is quite vague as far as its colouring is concerned. It's not very bold, and the actual logo of the band it's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for me. I thought, is it a colouring issue? Could we just recolour it? But there's so much busyness going on. Don't think you can. Let's go back. Slayer. This band is furious. This band is blazing, man. This is an underrated act. This is an underrated band. Why does nobody talk about this record? Why does nobody talk about Devastation? This is furious. This is better than a lot of thrash I've heard. I gotta give some of it down. Well, I can't even give it all to the production, but the production does it a favor. The production is solid. It creates such an aggressive force behind the instrumental. But let's be fair, them solos there. And the blazing rhythm. I'm enjoying this. We've got Souls of Sacrifice coming up next. Yes, now. Bless now. Don't forget the rest now. The Easy at KOTP TV. Idolatry. Souls of Sacrifice. It's tune number 4 of 8. This listen through goes out to Jim, who recommended this on Le Patreon. Shall we just jump in? I think we should. Kick it into a groove for us, Mush. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is such a cool guitar chord, which I don't know if just sounded abnormal because it was outside of the realms of power chords, but listen. It just sounds so powerful. It's just an inversion of a power chord. It sounds sick. Very cool, very cool. That was Souls of Sacrifice. Couple of grooves in there. I prefer the grooves as opposed to the full-on thrash metal assault, to be fair with you. We got Idolatry, the title track, coming up next, track number 5. See you there. Yes, now blessed, now Des, Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. Idolatry, the title track off the record Idolatry, is track number 5 of 8. This entire listen through goes out to my friend Jim, who recommended us on the Patreon. Let's jump in. This band seems to have had a couple more records I've seen in the related. Sacrilege there within the prophecy. Good band, Sacrilege. Here, do you think I'm a fruity guy because I enjoy the taste of pink beverages? Don't you just think a pink beverage is an enjoyable flavour? A pink lemonade. I just seen advertised down the side. Pink 7-Up. I try that purely down to the association of the colour with my taste buds. Did you know, right? If you believe in the theory of evolutionary biology, you are deemed more attractive from the fairer sex, given you wear pastel and fruit coloured, let's just say shirts for the sake of it, as opposed to like black or grey or, you know, brown and etc. Because that woman, given she evolved from a primitive gathering state, has a limbal brain, a primitive brain that exists prior to the neocortex that is hyper-focused on those particular colours. Keep that information to yourself, yeah? That was hard. That was hard. Hard. Love them at the end. Yeah, a little bit more of a longer form tune, a little bit more of a song, to be fair with you. We had a hook in there. Idolatry! We had an actual hook, an actual chorus of sorts in that one. A little bit more long form, a little bit more lower tempo. Want a bad tune? You can raise the claw and sing along to the Idolatry bit, eh? Legacy of Faith coming up next, track number 6. See you there. Yes, now bless now. Don't forget the rest now. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV. On to track 6 of 8 on Idolatry by the band Devastation. Legacy of Faith is the title of this one. Let's jump in. Some very cool chord voicings on this song. It sounds borderline dissonant, but it's not. It's just not your standard power chords, unless I'm mishearing everything. Fantastic. That went by like a breeze, didn't it? Great band, underrated band. Most definitely. Let's keep on moving. I don't have too much to say, in all honesty, in regards to that one. I mean, What an incredible standard of music. This is great, and it fulfills my criteria for an optimal record, which is 8 tracks. Playing it to a T. Subconscious coming up next. Yes, now bless now. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. Idolatry, track number 7 of 8 by the band Devastation. This entire list through goes out to Jim, who recommended this on the Patreon. Let us join in, shall we? Track number 7, let's go. Subconscious. Nice. Some build, eh? War Inside My Head. You can't be a metalhead and say War Inside My Head without it being a subtle nod to suicidal tendencies. I also think he says Subconscious Twisted Into Forms, which is another metal record, right? Twisted Into Form, is that forbidden? I think that's forbidden, isn't it? So potentially a couple of metal references there. Maybe it was just by chance. If it wasn't by chance, it's corny. I don't like that. I don't like that. Just keep the music original. Don't try and suck up. Alright, that's all I'm saying. Let's finish this record off. Never Believe. Let's finish. There's Rocksteady King of the Pit TV signing in Idolatry by Devastation. The final track is entitled Never Believe. Let's jump straight in, shall we? Come on. Fuck off. I got a big problem with all of these metal bands doing the whole nylon guitar or acoustified broken chord segments in their albums because it feels so forced. Because none of these dudes pick up an acoustic guitar and play. Like, they don't. These metalheads don't do that. They don't do that. They pick up an electric guitar and play riffs all day and rock out to metal music. Barely any of them have a taste that expands metal. And I hate to break it to you, but that's the truth. If you're into metal, you know that metalheads generally do not give a flying hoot about a clean guitar. Ever. They do it because it's part of the process of creating a metal record. Oh, everybody else does, so I have to. So in a way, I just really, really hate hearing these bits. Do you know what I mean? Metallica did it. That's good enough, right? Why do we need to hear every other band do it? Metallica did it best. Metallica wrote whole clean ballads. But you daren't do that. You daren't do that. So I don't like that. And with that being said, I'm going to continue hating, yeah? And I'm going to say that was the weakest track on the record. We heard all of them riffs in the album that came prior. But great sound overall. Really enjoyed the record. I'm going to give you my final overview in the next video. And I'll rate it out of 10 for you. See you there. Yes, now blessed, now Des Rocksteady, king of the Pit TV. Barnett's going mental. Devastation was the band, okay. The record was entitled Idolatry. There was 8 tracks on this record. It was devoted to my friend Jim, who recommended this on the Patreon. Jeez Louise, alright. So this was a powerhouse of a record. This was metal, right? No frills attached. Straight to your face. Metal. I've never come across this band. I mean, even indirectly, I don't really think I've come across Devastation like that before. I've not acknowledged this band's existence to this degree. And I'm going to start by saying definitely underrated. Definitely underrated. I saw that in the credits, the limited credits we had, that it, you know, might have been self-published, and that might have been the reason why it didn't garner the attention of some of the other bands who probably just, like, you know, have been rehashed by the label they got signed to initially, you know, and mass marketed via that label. Now let's talk about the music. The production was fantastic. 91's a good 91 is a good year for thrash metal purely because of the indirect influence the death metal acts at the time will have been influencing the bands. You know, so if you still retain your thrash essence, no doubt a great time where you've broken free of the shackles of just being a basic, boring late 80s thrash band, which if you are just a thrash band influenced by metal bands, it's all been done before. And the production isn't great, and it's all been done before. If you're a crossover band, you've got a bit more leeway. I think crossover sort of, you know, took the reins as far as interesting thrash metal. And then the 90s, hey, we can start to reintroduce a new element, a new spirit of the times, and I think this band absorbed that quite well indeed, especially with the, you know, the idolatry, the anti-religious theme, definitely, you know, a little more murky, a little more sinister in nature, as opposed to like nuclear war, it's war all the time, which then got revitalized tenfold in the 2000s. Yeah, cool. 8 tracks, substantial amount of material, given we're generally over 5 minutes each and every song. I think, are we Every song aside the last one, which is 6 seconds under, so plenty of material. As we all know by now, 8 tracks is the optimal amount of material to have on a LP, no doubt, given that, you know, you've got lengthier songs. Guitar work was fantastic, rhythm work was fantastic, definitely had some sore picking hands playing through them rhythms at the higher pace. Guitar solos were fantastic, vocal performance was good, I enjoyed the vocal performance, wasn't the old school style which bores the hell out of me, wasn't overtly gruff dog vocals, which could have been given the eras. We discussed the influence at the time, sort of met us on a nice middle of the you know, a bit of both, the duality of the two. Bassist had a presence. The bass frequency was crazy. The double kick was punchy as hell, and just the bass emphasis was just like real prominent in the mix. Great guitar tones, and this was a nice thrash metal record. Some thrash metal records can bore me to death, honestly. I would say 80% of thrash metal at this point kind of does bore me for the most part. I'll give this record a 7.5 out of 10. Why won't I give it an 8? Because a few of these mid-tempo riffs were close but didn't tickle my pickle, right? I needed some power trip riffs. I needed some Exodus riffs. Do you know what I mean? But we had our own unique style of riffs. It didn't stray far from what I'm generally into, so 7.5 is a decent rating from me. On that note, I'm signing out, people. I'll see you on the flip side. Goodbye.